Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Hey there, and welcome to you. Geez, we're like a week away from June. Why does time move so fast when the weather's nice? May 23rd. It's a Tuesday. Susan should be there. Hello.
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 So, hello.
My Green Bay accent is getting so much worse. I mean, you know, you live there, and I was talking to my granddaughter yesterday, and I listened to myself, and I just went, oh, for crying out loud.
No, you said, oh, for crying
out loud. Has my accent come back? Hey.
Hey, yeah, I know. God. Right. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm daydreaming already.
Yeah, what are you dreaming? You're hello?
I don't know. Hello? I don't know. Don't ask. I'm staring at flowers outside. I'm just in a, more contemplative mood today. So, Susan, are you watching Jeopardy?
I am watching Jeopardy. He's got me watching it. I'm taping it because it's on in the middle of the afternoon here, so I'm constantly forgetting. It's on at 3:30 here. Which is a very odd time, right?
Yeah, it is an odd time.
In
that's
Chicago.
That's grabber.
So I just tape it.
We're talking about this, this current champion, Ben Chan, who, I had stopped watching Jeopardy because they changed the time here to later, and it just, blew up my entire routine.
Well, just record it and watch it when you usually watch it.
I left in a huff. It's after so I can't. It's later than it used to be. So anyway, this guy got me watching again because of our connection to the college he teaches at, St. Norbert. Although they don't mention the college much. They don't mention that. They just say Ben Chan from a philosophy professor from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Right.
Yeah. So
I think that's sort of a rule, though. I think that they try not to advertise for anyone, even if it's college,
They just give cities.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. He is doing something. He's up to $250,000 now. He is doing something.
And so effortlessly.
Yeah, but he's doing something that I've never seen anyone do before. And it makes me wonder. It makes me like him more. But it's so odd in this culture. He did it again last night. He did it. I don't know how many times he's done it, but there have been times heading into Final Jeopardy when he is so far ahead. I mean, he's maybe $20,000 ahead of the next person. Nobody can catch him. So he could easily bet a lot of money, like $15,000. And even if he's wrong, he still wins. But he's rarely wrong. So he's going to get $15,000 more. And over again, he does not bet.
He got zero. The first time I saw him do that, I thought, wow. And it's so clear to me that he's simply just not greedy.
No, that's it.
It's the most clear example of, there's all sorts of reasons why I could do it. Why not do it? They'd like to give me the money. They'd even could keep track of how big is a champion. They would love it.
The whole idea is how much money can you pile up?
Right, and he doesn't want any more. That's enough, thank you.
Game. He's not playing that game.
No.
And that is why it's un-American. so I started to wonder if culturally it is just something, or if it's just him as a person. I'd love to know, because, or not wanting to rub it in with the other.
I think it's a combination of his being very polite and supportive of the other players, and not wanting to be a bad winner. I mean, it's every good character example that you would show. I mean, is coming out in that one little thing. I bet zero. I don't need to rub it in. I don't need more money. This is really a game, you know.
I think last night he apologetically did bet like $3,000, $4,000.
They probably yelled at him.
And again, well, I don't know when he could have bet. I mean, he could easily now have amassed probably $300,000 or more if he were playing like almost every other player I've ever seen in that long history of that game has played. The idea is to, well, I know. So I'm so,
but the interesting thing, Lynn, is he is a philosophy professor, and you know, and these are all of his various philosophies. You know, I mean, it just shines through that he lives all this stuff. And
well, I can't believe he hasn't been asked about it. And anyway, I am just such a fan of his. I mean, he is an exemplar. He is, as you said, such clearly a kind man, and enjoying winning, but nothing braggadocio, nothing, and then not wanting to take advantage, even though who's he taking the money from? He's taking the money from the production company that's quite willing to give it to him because he's bringing in more ratings for them. And I just,
but it's also his philosophy about risk versus reward. If he's got $30,000 in his pocket at that point, is it worth even $1,000 to risk losing $1,000, or just be happy with your 30? You know, I mean, it's all sorts of different philosophies in play at the same time that get him to that conclusion. And there ain't a bad one in the boat. He is just,
I know.
Yeah.
He is giving money back to them. I've never seen anyone do this. Never. Just saying. I so want to meet him.
Well, my guess is that could be arranged.
I know. I've been, you know who I'm getting in touch with. I want to meet him. I am such a fan. I want to buy him a drink. I want to, Whoa. And not the least of which is he knows all this stuff. He clearly just remembers everything he's ever come across, you know. I don't know. Just, I'm loving him. Just really loving it. So anyway, that's it. The other thing is, in watching Jeopardy again, I'm seeing commercials. I guess I don't watch commercial television very much anymore. So I'm seeing commercials.
They don't make any sense. Have you noticed that?
Well, I often don't understand them. But the thing is, I don't understand how people can subject themselves to the drug commercials. And that's all on these kinds of shows. Because it's an older audience. It's drugs, it's pharmaceuticals, and other things having to do with, infirmity, old age, disease. And they're so awful. I mean, they are so awful.
Mom always gets the giggles during the rapid speak,
during the rapid speak.
Side effects.
After they show always he's smiling.
May cause death, excessive bleeding, vomiting, headaches, sputtering.
That's right. And you're looking at people happy. Oh, may cause death. Right.
I'm holding hands in a bathtub. My penis might blow up.
I remember I've never gotten over my being able to see them from the point of view of most people in the world, where these kind of commercials are not allowed.
Right.
They were not allowed here for a long, long time. But of course, the pharmaceutical lobby overwhelmed the FCC, and started to allow prescription drugs to be marketed directly to people, even though people can't go out and buy them. Instead, they have to pester their doctor to prescribe them. I'm sure doctors were not thrilled with this development, but it
interferes with one of the ways they were being paid. I mean, doctors were being paid, to push certain pharmaceuticals over other pharmaceuticals. And if your patient comes in and demands the other pharmaceutical to the one you're being paid for, I mean,
I'm not sure they're paid.
You don't think the drug companies? Oh, come
not
on.
Directly. No, not directly. I don't think. Not directly. Doctors have to disclose it when they're doing research if they've accepted money from the company. So that suggests that they accept money from the company all the time. Well, they accept stuff. That's true. And they get a lot of freebies. That's true. I don't know. But the thing I was wanting to say was that I can't remember what the reason was, but for some reason, the viewers in the UK were treated to a direct seeing American television. For some reason, something here allowed our television to be shown to people in the UK. And people there were blown away by the pharmaceutical ads. They were astonished. They were, and you can imagine, they were also laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. And ever since, I can't watch any of them anymore because I just see them through the eyes of somebody who hasn't been brainwashed or numbed. They're ridiculous. They are just ludicrous.
Well, and they're all, or they aren't all, I'd say 90% of them were about mating in some way. You clear this condition so that you can have a romantic partner. You treat this condition so that your romance can be better. Anything. It's, if you got psoriasis, you want to clear it up so that whoever you're attracted to thinks you're attractive. I mean, it's always the same story, and it always ends up with all these things that, of course, we might kill you.
I really, really like the fact that I've learned that there's all these. I mean, the only thing I like about them is realizing that.
How many things you don't have?
Yeah. Oh, God. Whoa. What do you mean your eyes can be bulging out of your head? What?
That's thyroid disease. That's getting close.
What do you? Whoa! I mean, you start to think, wow, I'm pretty damn healthy, I guess. But the one that blew me away recently, well, I think it was on Jeopardy. Now there was an ad for a drug to sedate your cat. And the things they were showing were a cat being a cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like hallucinating and stalking light on the wall and stuff like that.
Or scratching or doing it. And there was a drug ad for, they don't say sedate your cat, but it's for calming your cat, for zombifying your cat.
That's probably, you know what it is. It's probably pet CBD. or pet THC. They make
no. It's a pharmaceutical.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no, it's a drug company.
It's Kitty's Xanax? Okay.
Well, they figure, come on, and we know that Americans now spend obscene amounts of money on their dogs and cats. Obscene. Anyway, okay, that's it. And the other thing. This is all from watching TV in the last few days. And I remember you talking about this a long time ago. But it's gotten out of hand.
You mean what bothered me years ago is finally bothering you? You're just watching more TV.
Yeah. False eyelashes.
Oh, God. If Joy Reid, who I really like very much, but every time she blinks, you can see that she's got like heavy carpet cording glued to her eyelashes. Now, they look fine when her eyes are open because you can't see the lashes at all, which is why they've got these too long, too thick lashes. But it's just every time she blinks, I go, what
happened?
What's going on?
When did it become? It's quite clear that women, thank God I'm not in television anymore. I think every woman on television now
is being forced to wear false eyelashes.
If not,
even Rachel Maddow. That's when I first started screaming about it.
Even Rachel Maddow. This is nuts. What the hell? Are men wearing them?
Well, I don't know. They got them all rouged and makeup up. Who knows what they're doing?
I haven't seen that, but they look so uncomfortable to me. And of course, I see them. Young people are wearing them all the time.
No, it's apparently the style. That in these magic marker eyebrows.
Oh my God! What is that? Because I thought,
well, it's an easier thing to do. You just take a black magic marker or a brown or a blonde, and you draw a huge, thick line above your eyes.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of if you're dressing up like Groucho Marx for Halloween.
Right, exactly.
With your for the eyebrows.
Groucho's in style. Yeah.
That's right. I mean,
although he would have been trimmed more. He was a little too full.
Here's what I want to know. What the hell happened to the natural look? Why are things being made more and more artificial? Well, because there's money to be made in it, because there's nothing to be made for having people just look like they look. But the level of artifice now.
Well, it's just
women, especially, are supposed to present themselves between their phony nails with all this.
That are now 15 times longer and spiked. So now they're really talons. I mean,
at least that's a weapon, which is okay with me.
That's okay, but imagine being the sexual partner of a woman with such nails.
Well, I was thinking, what if they have babies? I mean, aren't you afraid of take your baby's eye out?
I consider them a menace.
What?
No, I don't. No, it's this going over to the overboard look of, yes, there's a woman under here, but I'm under all this totally fake, obviously fake looking stuff. What's the point? So now this beautiful woman that you're dating has fake eyebrows, fake eyelashes, probably fake breasts, fake fillers, fake lips, fake. I mean, please.
I don't get it. And aren't they?
Well, apparently I get it. We are not sufficient. The message is women, as is, are insufficient. That is the message. And that is the most disgusting message to give to the majority of the country, of the world. What?
How does this square with supposedly feminism? How does this square with after, women.
Well, why do you think we have a problem with feminism? Because women don't have the strength or the energy to fight the culture on every single aspect. So they give in to the ones that allow them the strength to fight others. But you can't, actually. You can't give in to any of them.
They want to get ahead.
Oh, sure. If you want a job in corporate America, you gotta let them pat your rump and eye up and down, and you better dress beautifully
and look a certain way. Yeah, you got it. No, it's all part of it. I just.
Did you see that the women's stars at Cannes are upset about this? Natalie Portman gave a speech on it yesterday. Because she's in a movie about it, and she said, like here, where we have to wear high heels and where we have to come dressed in one way, and the men can show up any damn way they please.
Well, they don't have to. And when she was saying that, was she wearing flats and no makeup? No.
No, she was all dolled up.
Powerful.
She took off her shoes. What they're all doing is taking off their shoes.
Oh, fine. All right. What?
Jennifer Lawrence did wear flip-flops under her red gown.
It's a lost cause. I give up.
Well, this is what I've been talking about when I tell you that what boxing has taught me about culture, the acculturation of women. Because I had to unlearn things in order to do it properly. The biggest one was not pulling a punch. And it's like the culture is literally binding my arms. And I had to unlearn that. I had to unlearn that. And it took a long time. Now, that might not be true for everybody, but that's how it shows. So I'm just saying women in every aspect of their lives are controlled by our culture, and that is male dominated. And if we want to get ahead, we have to accept some of those terms in order to get where we're going to change them. And I resent the hell out of it. I just do.
Well, let me just say this. Men, too, are in so many ways controlled by the culture as well.
That's right. Short men aren't going to get as good a job as tall men, or are going to have to work much harder to do it. And absolutely true. Obesity across the line, although it's worse for women than men. The culture is hard on just about everybody. It is not a welcoming culture.
No. It's a very narrow culture. All right, so we've beaten up on the culture enough. Little Tony writes, I stopped watching Jeopardy, the current champ. It's a total bore to watch the same guy win night after night. I always think that too.
Yeah, I'm sure it isn't, but we happen to, it's like...
we have a connection to
he's like a cousin.
Family. This is our guy.
Yeah, if you grow up in Green Bay and one of your guys is doing good, I mean, we claim you. Steve Jobs is ours. I mean, there's what's the actor, the wonderful actor, the Lebanese actor?
Shaloub.
Yeah, Shaloub. He's ours.
Most people don't know Steve Jobs is from Green Bay.
No, they don't. And interestingly enough, his estranged father was, at that time,
a professor at St. Norbert.
Right. It's the theme of the show.
Correct. That's right. Steve Jobs' father was a teacher at, Oh my God, I forgot that. Right. All right. So anyway, little Tony says he stopped watching. He's sick of it. He's smart, and the other players don't stand a chance. But obviously, at some point, someone's going to beat him.
No,
someone's going to beat him.
I mean, someone always beats him. The guy that's now hosting it eventually got beat.
Yeah. He's a nice guy, says little Tony, and I enjoyed him the first few times he was on, but I can't help think they gave him an advantage for ratings. What? By letting him come back after he was sick? But he had to win again to be. They didn't give him an advantage. They let him come back and compete again. Because
he was never defeated. There's nothing wrong with that. You got to have a protocol.
They didn't give him an advantage.
No.
And he says, I also like Ken Jennings as host better than Sheldon's girlfriend. Is that
Mayim Blana?
Mayim Bialik. I don't like her either.
I've never liked her, but I don't like her for other reasons.
Well, that's true.
She's too smart for her own good.
Well, what's that about?
I don't. She just sort of. She has this attitude that she's a very bright woman, but she's doctrinaire, I guess is what I mean. About her religion, about the way she raises her kids,
about her religion, about how she raises her children. She really, she's in a position to say what she thinks should be done, and she does it with no problem whatsoever.
Yeah. I just don't agree with her a lot, and I don't know. She is a weird mixture of stuff, though.
Whoa. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to see this ad.
Oh, is that what happened? That was you turning on sound?
Yeah, no, I didn't know my sound was on. He sent me a video for the cat drug. Fell away. Like feline. Fell away. Optimum. I don't know what the hell. Okay, so I can't listen to it right now. And we have a caller anyway. Hello.
Good morning, Lynn and Susan.
Good morning.
I just wanted to ask Susan a question. My children are in their 30s, but what really bothers me today is when women say, we're pregnant.
It must be their first one, dear.
And I think of how sick I was for 3 months and coming home from work, and my manager wore Estee Lauder Youth Dew, which was so horrendous. And we're pregnant. I just don't understand it.
I think they're trying to be inclusive of the dad.
That's right.
But I remember, I think my husband said it once, and I looked at her and I said, no, let's be clear, I'm pregnant. Or the day that I can't put this thing in your belly, we can be pregnant, but no, I'm pregnant.
And getting back to those claws that women are wearing with all the different gems on them and stuff, I don't think it's hygienic. I mean,
of course not.
What are they doing?
Well, it does raise questions about how can you properly, clean oneself, for example.
Or how could you even shampoo your... It just makes no sense. But the thing that really bothers me the most, my sister, we went on a European river cruise last year. And when you look at all these beautiful women from all over the world, nobody has the talons, and I love that, or the fake everything. I mean, They're just beautiful women. Their skin, I don't understand it.
We are
yeah. Listen, you know what? I wonder, do you think the talons help you put on your false eyelashes or impede?
Oh, they have them put on for them. They did. There's whole businesses. This is capitalism at work, ladies.
Well, when if
you mean you don't put?
I'm sorry.
You don't put on those things every day. It's like I'm going to put on my lipstick, then I put on my lashes. You don't put those on every day?
It's really comical. One of my friends was wearing the false eyelashes for maybe 6 months, and we were at the symphony, and we were at Heinz Hall, and a portion came into her eye. So we had to go down, and she's looking in the mirror, and somebody said to her, and she said to me, I think I'm going to go with those magnetic ones. And I'm there, what are you talking about? They actually have where you do a strip on your eye, and it's a magnet. Yes.
Dear God.
And there was a woman who said, excuse me, she said, I overheard the conversation, and I had to go to the emergency because it scratched my eye.
Oh, God help.
Magnets on, yes. And how my friend ended up not doing it any further. She got a really bad infection on her lid.
Yeah, I don't, it's God's way of saying, don't do that.
I just had this funny scenario, imagining you at the symphony and your friend's eyelash sort of coming a little undone. Mm-hmm. Imagine if it fell off, let's say, into the hair of the guy sitting in front of her. And she's, excuse me, sir. And you're rooting.
No, you'd have to let it go and then he'd have to comb it out and wonder. No, then it would fall on his pillow and his wife would accuse him of cheating because she doesn't wear false eyelashes.
And Susan, you said you like Joy Reid, and I like her too, but Ari, I think it's Melbourne is on after her.
Melbourne. Ari Melber. Yeah.
I really like him, but I think he's wearing mascara on his lower lashes.
Oh, I know what you mean.
No, seriously.
He's a hairy guy, though. They might actually be his lashes, but when you said that, my brain brought up a picture of him, and you're right. I picture him with a full set of lower lashes. I do.
And I can't think of the guy. His last name was Shepard. He was on, I can't even remember.
Shepard Smith.
Smith, yeah.
Yes, he definitely wore mascara. It was hideous, and I couldn't even look at him because that's all I kept thinking of. Why do you have the mascara on?
Well, I mean, that's actually my point, that these things are so distracting. I don't want to be sitting. I don't want to be a woman sitting in front of my TV making nasty comments about a really competent, smart woman on TV.
Yes.
I mean, that's the last thing that I want to be distracted by, and a decidedly anti-feminist view, frankly. But I can't help it because I just sit there looking, going, I can't hear you.
I just turned 74, and maybe it's my age, but all of it is just it just doesn't make sense to me. I have 4 little granddaughters, and I think, what are they going to have to walk around like clowns to be accepted? It's insane.
Yeah, well, it's one of the reasons that I stopped wearing that. I stopped wearing makeup because it stopped making me look better as far as I was concerned.
Exactly.
And then once I took it off and got used to myself unadorned, I started to get angry. Thinking, why wasn't this good enough?
Exactly. None of it makes sense anymore. But thank you.
I just want to. Okay, thank you. But I want to point out that we're all of the same age.
Yeah, we're all the same age.
I'm the eldest. Susan's the youngest. You come in between. But I have to say that we've aged out of not necessarily because you've got a friend who's thinking of putting magnets on her eyes. I mean, but there's a point at which, a woman feels more free if she has the inclination.
Yeah, it's what I call post-mating.
Yeah, to say,
that's true.
This. I am done with this nonsense.
But right. I never thought it is as bad as it is right now. I just don't understand it. And when you look at the European people, in particular the women, I mean, they're just beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
If you
no
think
underwear, they are.
Imagine this is post-feminism. And that is a failure, an extraordinary failure. You've come a long way, baby. I don't think so.
I totally agree. And our daughter lives in San Jose. She works for Apple there. And you can't imagine how many young girls in their 30s are getting Botox.
Oh, no, I can. Yes, I can. It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, they tell you need to do it before you actually have a wrinkle. It's like treating alopecia before. I mean, it's like treating, what's the bone disease? Why am I coming up with losing hair? Osteoporosis, before you have it. So your jaw will fall off, but your hip will be okay. It's all this. That's how they sell this stuff. And now, and everybody does it now. Men do it. And it's just crazy.
Well, I have a number of women friends, and they're younger than me. They're like in their 50s, 60s, and most of them do this crap. And I just am astonished. I'm astonished by it.
Well, and there's, speaking of the people on the MSNBC, there's an older woman, blonde, who is a prosecutor, and she's on
Wallace.
I don't know. I really don't know what her name is, but she does so much Botox that she's got one of her eyes that doesn't blink at the same time as the other eye.
How attractive, Susan.
No, okay. No, you ought to, it's not pleasant to sit next to me watching MSNBC.
Okay, all right. Listen, guys. Hey,
thank you, girls. Thank you. Thank you. Take care, girls. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Okay. All right. Enough of this girl talk. Jeez.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah. But oh man, I really,
No, I get it,
okay.
Lynn. I totally get it. Even in regular life, I walk around ranting. And there was a picture taken of our mother the other day. And after, by the end of the pandemic, I had pretty much convinced her that there was just no reason to be putting eyeshadow and all that she looked beautiful without any makeup, and it should be celebrated. And she's down to just lipstick, that's fine with me. But she looks so beautiful.
I know. I saw it. Isn't that beautiful? She's beautiful. 100 and almost 1. She's still beautiful.
Oh, and excuse me, we're doing this again. She went swimming for the first time 2 days ago.
Oh, good. She got in. Good.
She got in and did 22 laps, people. 22.
And wow, for the first swim.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Did you see? And then I'll get on something else. There was an article about some guy who lived to be 109. 109. Did you see that? See where he was born?
No.
Galesburg, Illinois.
Huh. That's where our mother was born.
Right. But you didn't read the article.
I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline.
Yeah, the article about the 109-year-old guy. He was born in Galesburg. You think there's something in the water there? All righty, we got it. Just when I was going to move on to something of more substance than ripping other people's looks apart, we have a call.
It's so much fun.
Hello?
Yeah, we're having fun doing this. I don't see any reason to move along.
Okay.
Hey, this is Kurt. I had two things.
Kurt.
One, you didn't say about Ben what I thought you were going to say, because what I'm convinced I've noticed about his play that fits in with what you're saying is...
Wait. Who are we talking about? What?
Ben on Jeopardy.
Oh.
Is it Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Chan.
Yeah.
You're
Ben
on a
Chan,
first
yeah.
name basis. Okay, all right.
Sorry. Yeah, our Jeopardy guy. When it's down to the last few questions, if somebody's in the hole or he has a very comfortable lead, he slows down.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to see a show. No, maybe there was one while he's been on, but I'll bet we don't ever see a show where there aren't three people up there at the end, because he seems to let people.
I agree with you,
but I think he slows down at the end.
I think he wants them to have money.
Is he not one of the nicest humans you've ever seen?
He is a sweetie, yeah. And he looks like he's 12, even though he has gray hair. I don't know how he does that, but.
Yes, go ahead.
On to making fun of other people's looks. How about the two anchors on Channel 11, Royce and whatever the other one is?
Do you think I even watch? I don't know who they are.
Well, at least I would have thought maybe you'd at least see the ad since you're watching Jeopardy. That short one, I think that's Royce, is so made up with pancake makeup, and it's clownish.
It's the new thing. It's total art.
Like Kukla, Fran, and Ollie, and nobody's Fran.
Yeah. It's gotten to, it's like Versailles. It's King, the King's Court, where artifice is you don't make an effort to say, I'm not totally artificial. You're just present yourself that way.
Yeah. And I don't want high definition TV so I can see the pancake makeup on women's necks cracking because they're trying to show that, cover up an extra 20 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the face is good, but as soon as you move away from that.
Right. Next, do not lie.
All right, well, let's move on to something more intelligent.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you, Kurt. We need these moments. I mean,
We really do. I did. So thank you.
Yeah, it's better than talking doom and gloom all the time. So.
I know.
Well, here it comes.
No, she's suing again. It's good news.
Yes.
She's just asking for extra damages, no extra work. Will see if that works.
I like that. I think, what a strategy.
I think it's great. Yeah. Pile it on.
Pile it on.
Carol, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are. Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Kurt.
All righty, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Actually, speaking of E. Jean Carroll asking, for more damages, her attorney says that Trump continuing to do the exact same defamation he was found guilty of and, told to pay her $5 million for. She says it is a mockery of the jury verdict and of the justice system if he can just keep on repeating the same defamatory statements over and over again. So the court's got to come down on him big time. I mean, E. Jean Carroll's going to end up being a billionaire.
Yeah, but then she's got to collect. That would be the problem.
Well,
I mean,
she doesn't have a penny yet, and believe me.
They could put a lien on put a lien on Trump Tower, but he's probably owes gazillions on everything that he quote owns unquote. So
we don't have another caller, do we? I thought I heard something, and I wasn't sure. Do we?
No.
Okay. Hang on here. Margaret writes, she's short and sweet. Women with false eyelashes look gross. Agree. Imagine you're out eating dinner and one drops in the soup. I just when you're that level of artifice is just.
Yeah, I had them. I wore them for Leah's wedding.
You did?
But the person that did them for me put them in one lash or two lashes at a time, and they were just put in between my own natural lashes and didn't look like anything except a nicer, regular set of lashes. No, you didn't know. They can be done without putting a hedge on your they can be done without looking fake. I don't understand why the goal is to look fake.
Yeah, that's what's weird to me too.
I mean, that's
by the way, Nikolai writes in that for men who wear this eye stuff, it's called guy liner.
Right, and they just want to look like rock stars.
What a mucked up culture. Jeez, what a mucked up culture. Meanwhile, still on women and still on aging women. Did you see the news? Front page New York Times today about making the workplace more menopause friendly.
Oh, that's the new thing. I have heard more about men. I mean, it must have been when a whole crop of now working women, got to such large numbers that their menopause became noticeable to everybody.
Yeah, it's women in their 40s and 50s.
Right.
And there's such a huge number of them in the workforce, and they got
in visible places of
speak. Yeah, right. So I have to tell you though that reading this, it's like I don't know.
Well, here's how I feel about these things. I think, did I miss something?
Yeah, no, you never had a heavy menopause. You didn't.
Well, I had a surgically induced one overnight.
Oh, that's right.
And did replace hormones for a while, but after when I stopped doing that, I mean, I still have, night sweats, but it's probably due to something else. I never experienced any of this stuff, which is not to say other women don't, but I do sort of have this feeling of what are you talking about?
Well, you're one of the lucky ones. So what are you going to do? Women have menopause. What's the workplace supposed to do? They say in the UK, they're giving women of a certain age fans to put on their desk. Well, fine. Reimburse them for fans for their desk.
I mean, if we're just treating it okay, big deal.
What?
Although it's sort of amazing because in the United States, offices are kept at a temperature so that the men who are wearing suit jackets are comfortable, and the women who are expected to wear cocktail dresses to be secretaries are freezing to death.
Yeah. But here's what it says here. A British study found 1/3 of women aged 50 to 64 have reported moderate to severe difficulties at work because of menopausal symptoms. That's a lot of women. And then the Mayo Clinic estimated that about 10% of women 45 to 60 had taken time off in the last year because of menopausal symptoms, costing employers, billions of dollars. So, but as I'm reading this, obviously I had menopause, and those were in my years where I was on TV and doing the radio show, and yeah, it's uncomfortable, but I don't know what anyone could have done for me. And then,
or how it becomes, I mean, there's
I don't understand what. I don't quite get why this has to be a thing, except that there's enough, as you say, women of a certain age in the workforce at a time when they are able to speak out. And so now it's a thing.
And clearly with symptoms that are different than I know about, because I never had anything that after menopause that would make me want to miss work or anything,
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of, I had terrible insomnia. So I was, I don't think my brain was functioning as well. I mean,
that is what women complain about. But what the hell are you supposed to do about that?
What's anyone supposed to do about it?
Except be understanding and not fire someone.
Yeah. So here's the thing in the article that I was thinking as I was reading it. It says some experts warn that disclosing menopause symptoms also carries risk because it plays into assumptions that women are,
inferior.
Yeah, they got these bodies that
women can't be president because they might go through menopause and have brain fog. I mean, there you go.
That's right. So it may be better to, downplay this. Don't make it a totally new thing. And here is somebody writing, the last thing we need is some other reason for workplace discrimination against women and to handicap them in some way by saying there's something wrong with them at menopause that requires accommodation. And that's sort of where
and also precisely at the time of their careers that they might be at their highest earning potential and therefore in corporate speak liable to be fired so they can bring up someone cheaper and younger.
Yeah. I would be a little careful about this crap, ladies. Seriously. I don't know. But it does show how much more complicated the female body is than the male body. And it's why women's bodies are front and center in so many issues.
And how clear it is that men don't understand. That men don't understand how women's bodies work. Although what's interesting is, did you see those South Carolina Republican state legislators that are, finally saying, no, guys, it's about control.
Yeah. No. It was wonderful. Hey, speaking of South Carolina, I have a wonderful little thing here that I came upon. The governor of that less than great state of South Carolina is a guy named Henry McMaster. And over the weekend, he told an audience that he was looking forward to the day, and I'm quoting, forward to the day that Democrats are so rare, we have to hunt them with dogs.
Oh, good.
I'll leave that with you, the images it conjures, that the governor, of course, Republican governor, inciting violence against Democrats. Just before we get off the menopause front, this happened to be in the science section today. A new option for treating hot flashes. And really, for women, I have a friend who's really having horrific hot flashes. Where, her face will turn bright red. She'll just start sweating, and if you're a woman in a position, that is not, whatever. So it turns out the FDA has just approved a new drug for hot flashes, and it's not hormonally based. And it's coming out soon. It's called Veozah. And here's what causes hot flashes.
I can't believe you're doing a drug commercial after the way we started.
Yeah, after we started. Yes. Okay, Veozah. Hot flashes, actually scientifically, are called vasomotor symptoms. And here's what happens. They finally figured out that there's these neurons that regulate body temperature. And those neurons that regulate body temperature are primarily controlled by estrogen. So when women transition to menopause and their estrogen levels fall, the neurons go into panic mode. They go into overdrive, perceiving that the body is hotter than it is and setting off this cascade of events to cool the body down, like sweating and all this stuff. So that's what's doing it. It's the estrogen level falling and the neurons getting all screwed up. And the drug contains a compound that binds to those freaked out neurons. It goes up to those freaked out neurons and says, just calm down. Just calm down here. Everything's going to be okay. And then, damn if it isn't.
Well, that would be nice. But you know what else does that?
Yeah.
Indica marijuana. But go ahead.
Well,
it does. It works on the frontal lobe on those receptors. But it does.
Okay. But here's the thing, and then back to hating pharmaceutical companies. Okay, here's the thing. The company said the product will be available in pharmacies soon and will cost $550 for a 30-day supply.
And it won't be covered by insurance because it's for girls.
That is correct. And it won't probably be covered. Viagra, of course, yes. But anything having to do with women's health, no. So $550. So what's the good of that? So I guess rich women are going to be able to have some relief from their hot flashes. The rest, well, not so much.
Right.
So there it is. Oh, dang.
But I don't know. I think there's part of, as we age, just accepting what it feels like to be that age. And to echo the caller, you don't want to make it into an illness. It's not an illness.
That's right.
It's how one feels.
It's normal.
Right. In this part of one's life, it gets better. It changes, and you'll feel other things that you didn't feel before. You won't feel unpleasantness that you did feel before. It's called life. But we do have to be careful. I'd rather, I'd rather have my body being treated equally to a man scientifically and in research, and have less research going into how to make me look better.
Hey, speaking of historical references of artifice and the way people present themselves and what is perceived as beauty, Margaret says, hell, look at the Egyptians and their makeup. She's thinking about, Nefertiti and Cleopatra, that whole crowd. With kohl, K-O-H-L, the idea of just sticking that black stuff around your eyes.
Men did it too.
Yes, men did it too.
It doesn't appear to me to be sexualized.
So, Susan, remember we had a big election here. I think last Tuesday.
I do remember. Yes, and it went well. I hear
it went very well, but I'm not aware of what I wasn't aware until today. I hadn't seen the numbers. Remember, I was talking about voter turnout.
Right.
And how this really important election, who's going to run the county, who's going to be the DA. These are such huge, who's on the school board. These are the biggies if you understand how your democracy works. And I was wondering what the turnout would be. I want to tell you, last time the county executive and the DA were up, do you know how many people showed?
28%.
16.
Okay. Yeah, in an off-year election, the 16 is dismal.
16%. And you know how in this one that to me was so consequential last weekend? Okay, it's better than the 16 that last time. 26%.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you wonder why these progressives are winning? Because they're doing the work.
Because they're showing up.
No one's voting. They're showing up. They're getting their people to the polls. They're getting them out to vote.
So keep voting, audience.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah. Yeah, it is working. It is working. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I mean, it's 3/4 of registered voters in Allegheny County could not be inclined, I mean, just couldn't be bothered or care about the future of the county.
I mean, anyone that's paying attention that doesn't think that school board races are important these days is crazy. I mean, you know, that's the only place where it makes sense to vote, because that's where your vote really holds weight. You know, I mean, if you want to see your vote count, you just pay attention to your school board race. So you go to the to the night with the candidates, and you ask them real questions, and you get yourself a functional education for your district's children. I mean, I don't know what else could be more important, and that's what that vote buys you.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think we're out of time. By the way, a reminder that Monday is Memorial Day, and we're taking the day off because we can, and we are. Okay. Thanks, Suze.
Okay.
I'm
heading. Yeah, I'm about to run upstairs to pack and head back up to the greatest little city in the country.
Home of Ben Chase.
I'm going to hit up that thriving night and entertainment district. Where is that, do you think, that thriving night and entertainment district? I haven't figured that out. Is that the strip bars we used to go to?
Oh, and the other Green Bay news. Did you see that Simone Biles, the extraordinary
I sent that to you. That Simone Biles is going to be living in Green Bay. Yeah.
Yeah, because she married a football player.
The new safety. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. All right. Green Bay, I'm telling you guys. Hey,
come up and visit us sometime, you know. Lots to do.
I have some cheese curds and a beer, okay?
But if I can, quick one more thing. If I can do an ad, the stuff that they are building around there, I mean, this new center that's going up in De Pere that's going to have these huge shows, you know, and I mean, it's really a nice
culture.
Yeah, and a great new children's garden at the Botanical Garden. I mean, it's turning into something, this little place.
That's right. That's right.
We got culture.
All it took was me getting out. Okay.
Yeah, me too. Right. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy this beautiful day.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.